It is March 13, 1964. Kitty Genovese is only a few feet away from her apartment. A man in dark clothing watching. He walks up quickly and stabs her in the back twice. An excruciating pain travels up her back as she desperately screams for help.
Help! Somebody help me!
Watching from the window are more than 36 people. Why aren't they helping? Finally, a neighbor decides himself.
Hey, let that girl alone.
38 people, as reported later, were watching. No one did anything. No one. 10 minutes later, he's back. More stabs and robs her valuables. Finally, someone calls the ambulance. It's too late. The fact is that 38 people were watching this, and so the bystander effect was born. The bystander effect is a person who is present at an event or incident, but does not take part. Our goal this week is to talk about the bystander effect and do some trials about it. We'll also do some interviews to random people on the street to ask them if they are bystanders or not.
The thought is that most people will claim that they are upstanders, but will actually be bystanders.
Like Sam said, most people aren't willing to admit that they're cowards. So.
We're also going to be putting ourselves in relative situations to the same that Kitty was in, and we're going to see if anyone helps us.
I have a question. What's an upstander?
An upstander is someone, like, say, like, someone was getting bullied, right? You would, like, stand up for them and tell the bully that that's, like, you shouldn't do that. And a bystander is someone who, like, you know, they'll just, like, stand there and watch someone get bullied. They won't really do anything about it.
Between both.
I think I'm an upstander.
Second one. An upstander? Yeah.
Upstander. Upstander.
Upstander.
I consider myself an upstander.
Bystander.
A bystander.
Well, we're close to 80. I think it's safer for us to be bystanders.
Okay.
I went to Coolidge Corner, and I walked around the streets asking people if I could use their phone to call my mom.
So how'd it go?
It went better than I expected. There were a couple of people that just straight up said no, like I couldn't use their phone. One guy was late to a meeting. But, I mean, overall, it wasn't bad. Like, most of the people let me use their phone.
Okay. Why do you think some people said no?
Probably because they just didn't want to be bothered with having to do anything else for any other people. In the end, 4 people helped and 3 people didn't.
It'd be nice if you would help.
Yes. Yeah, I would.
I would, yes. I would hope so.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
We're close to 80. We would expect someone to help us.
Expect everybody to help us.
Everybody helps us. That's what happens when you're old. Everybody helps you.
Depends where I am.
Just anywhere. If there are lots of people, would you expect someone to come and help you?
Not really.
So we're going to have someone pretend to be sick, and we're going to see whether people are going to be bystanders and not help, or if they're going to be upstanders and help someone who needs their help.
So, how'd it go?
Pretty well, except for no one asked me how I was feeling or anything. No one asked me if I was okay or anything. No one even walked up to me. Like, they stopped and looked, but they didn't say anything. I think it was because there's no one else doing anything, so they just didn't do anything.
Do you think the lady sitting next to you had any effect on your getting of help?
What do you mean?
The lady who sat next to you not doing anything, do you think that affected it?
Yes, because she was really close to me, and if she didn't do anything, then it's kind of an example for everyone else to not do anything. Kind of.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How did Finn's trial go?
Finn's trial was a bit of a fail. There weren't a lot of people around. No one came and helped him, but there were a few people walking into J. Felix who looked over at him. And there was a kid sitting next to us who kept looking at him, so I'm not sure entirely if we got accurate results, but
Have you ever seen someone in need of help?
Yeah.
Did you help them?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone in need of help?
Yes.
Did you help them?
Yes.
You know, we did. Well, we did once when we were in Sweden, and a man was kind of rough with his wife, but we were foreigners in a foreign country, and we figured we'd better find our own business.
Okay.
So, how'd it go?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. I was only there for like a minute, 2 minutes, and like someone came over and asked me if I needed water. Oh, a bunch of people walked by, but no one really helped.
Did
or no
anyone
one really
look
cared.
and just walk?
I wasn't paying attention, but I think maybe a few people noticed. I think I was pretty loud. So this is, I'm sorry.
You were the only one that came over and said, "How are you?"
Yeah, nobody
I was
really
thinking of it.
Yeah, because I'm not so sure whether you really have, you know.
It's a social experiment. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So why did you go out of your way to help?
Because you keep coughing. I'm not sure you really need some water or you have asthma or something like that. So I just want to make sure you're okay.
Do you think, why do you think other people wouldn't help?
They might not see it. They might be, they might not notice it.
Have you ever seen someone in need of help?
Yeah.
And did you help them?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone in need of help?
Yes.
And did you help them?
Yes.
someone did end up asking me if I was okay. However, the bystander effect with the group of people didn't really kick in because no one else asked if I was okay. No one came over to me.
What about that boy in the red t-shirt with that little boy? You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, and I think he may have been concerned about me, but I couldn't exactly tell if what he was doing, either that or he was just running around me. Most kids, I believe, are even born with the instinct to help out. Like, from millennia, our instinct has been to help and to protect. And when these kids see someone, like when Finn was pretending to be sick, when the kid in the red shirt went up to Finn, he was trying to check and see if he was okay, but before he could ask anything or if he would see if he needed help, he looked for social cues, what we've been talking about before, and he looked to see if his mom was helping, and she wasn't, and in that sense, he is being taught to be a bystander and not to pay attention to what other people are doing.
If people don't help someone, why don't you think they would help?
Scared. Fear.
Thinking about you.
Because they need to do what someone expects them to do,
When we get out,
or carry on with their normal lives.
Because they don't want to. Thank you.
They're afraid of making a scene.
Because maybe they can't.
They either can't or they're really bad people.
Or they just don't want to. Thank you.
Two reasons: indifference and or fear.
I think some people assume that someone else will do it, someone else will help them. They're like, maybe they don't need my help, or someone else is closer by, or I don't feel comfortable getting in that situation. Like, there might be some situations, like if two men are fighting, I'm not sure, I mean, I could say something, but I'm not sure I would physically put myself in the middle of that, but maybe that's why someone wouldn't help. They always assume that someone else will do something about it.
Sometimes they just don't care. You know, they don't want to be bothered.
I think fear. They're afraid to. And sometimes they just don't care.
I think they assume that someone else will help the person.
Okay, thank you.
They scared. Don't want to get involved.
Didn't have the confidence to help, that they thought that they might be attacked in the same way that the victim was being attacked in.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, so after doing just a few trials, we didn't do that many trials, but after doing a few trials, what do you think, Julia? Are people more bystanders or upstanders?
I'd say more bystanders. They, people were looking at us, but they didn't really intervene.
I'd say bystanders too. No one really did anything to help most of the time.
I'd say bystanders. Most people just don't care about other people's problems.
I would also say most people are bystanders, even though most people, when interviewed, no, not most, but a fair number of people said that they were upstanders. Less people are upstanders, we've found, than are bystanders.
Definitely bystanders, because for the people who did the trials, one person didn't get anyone to help them, and the other people who did get anyone to help them, it was only one person, and it wasn't like they didn't go to the greatest lengths to do the best thing they possibly could. And a lot of people noticed, so most people were just bystanders.
I definitely agree. I say most people are absolutely bystanders. Because in all the trials we did, we had so many people just walking by, looking at us, not doing anything, and there was only one or two people that actually ended up helping in the end.
Well, I think that originally when they are small children, they tend to be upstanders, because as I found that when I was pretending to be sick, there were two kids and none others noticed me, and the two kids that did notice me came and tried to cover me, but everyone else who saw me did nothing. So I think as you grow older, you become more of a bystander.
Do you think you guys will be more likely to help people in public if you see someone that needs help because you did this short experiment? All right, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. I hope.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably not.
Slightly more likely, but not much.